Man, I love the First Descendant, but sometimes it feels like I spend way too much time on the Access Info tab, trying to find what I'm looking for. Going back and forth between the map and the Access Info search options, trying to find the best place to farm for what I'm looking for. Do you know this pain? Are you with me on this one? The worst part is sometimes I go so far down that rabbit hole, I forget what I'm looking for in the first place. Ugh, makes me feel like I'm going crazy. What if I told you there's a tool that eliminates this problem? What if I said it was free?
Tux makes it exciting!
So today I'm going to share with you an external tool created by a First Descendant fan that is free to use, and it's going to absolutely change your farming experience in this game. It changed mine. My quality of life went way up inside this game. I am now spending more time actually playing than I am in the Access Info tab doing research. So if you haven't discovered the Access Info tab in the First Descendant, then you're really missing out. In fact, I don't know how you're farming your build. It's going to be very difficult to know where to go if you're not using this tab, especially in the end game. But this is basically like a Wikipedia / encyclopedia / dictionary of what you need to know and where you need to go for the items that you're looking for. And it's broken down by descendants, weapons, enhancement materials, external components, modules, by the way, very important here, and then the amorphous materials. Now, this is probably where a lot of people are confused, and you see that question coming up a lot on my videos and others, like, how do you unlock the parts for Glay? Where do you get the pieces for the Python? And it's all here. And so sometimes you hear that snotty comment, just go to the Access Info. It's not that people don't know this is here, but for some people, this system can feel cumbersome. That's why this First Descendant fan, MDN Pasquale, might just be my hero. He created a post on Reddit that says, I made a tool that tells you what pattern overlaps the most depending on what materials you need. And let's just read his comment here. He goes, I got tired of going back and forth on looking at the Access Info pattern drops, so I made this. I totally know that issue. I swear, I've been spending half my life in this menu. So he goes on, I made a tool to tell you which pattern overlaps the most depending on materials you need. And then you can use a filter if you're feeling doing a certain activity or hate doing Sharon sneaks. So I just track all the missing descendants and ultimate weapons, and now it tells me which pattern will get me the most gain. So we'll skip through his example and just go straight to the tool.
Let's do this!
Okay, let's run through a couple of examples on how this is going to save you tons of time, and this will show you how it works. It's super simple. So this is what the website tool looks like. As you can see, it's very basic. It's not really hard to understand. The only thing you're going to be doing from an interaction standpoint is checking what you're looking for, and then whether you want the Sharon and Void reactors to be an option or not. And in many cases, it's the only route, and that's why Sharon is so important in this game. So if you haven't built up a good Sharon stealth build, you're gonna need it, especially for solo farming. I personally am amazed at how well she does. I feel like she's been getting me the best loot in the game. For one, she's required to get many of those ultimate options. But while I'm stacking those up, she's also getting me transcendent mods through her stealth mode and being able to quickly take out these bosses in a single shot. That's another video. Super stoked about her. Let me go ahead and run you through a real scenario here. So if you go into Access Info, this is the tool that we've been relying on for now. And let's just say we're looking for the Afterglow sword. So you'd click here and you got several pieces you need. Now for this example, let's just say, hey, we're looking for that blueprint. What do I got to do? Okay, we click here. So we're now in our third layer into this menu, right? Like, okay, well, let's see here. We got pattern 66, which once I can crack it open at the Dead Bride. Okay, so where do I find 66, or do I have one? And so I don't have a 66, but I can get one here in Steriland on Hard and the Forgotten Ease. So, okay, so Steriland, and then I crack it, close that, and then I have to crack it open at the Dead Bride. What it doesn't tell me is like, well, what's the chances? What are the percentages behind that? Oh, okay, so let's go to another menu. So this is what we're doing. Like, is it gonna be a 6% chance, a 3% chance? Some are higher than 20 and 30. So you do wanna know. And the Afterglow sword blueprint, that's a 10% chance. Is that the best there is? Well, I don't know. And the only way to know is to go back to the sword, go through here, click click on this and check out every single one of these. And it's multiple layers within each. And so we got the hard. How do I get the hard? It's there. Do I already have one? If not, where do I get it? And then what's the percentage of it actually giving me the blueprint? You're gonna want the most direct path to getting the blueprint and the one with the highest odds. So time is money in this game. Here we go. So now, instead of going through all those layers and back and forth, and for me, like, I always forget the details. So I end up going in that circle, in that loop over and over again. This menu is like its own grind. It saves me a ton of time because now if I just click on the sword blueprint, I can see all of them. And then if I click on Sharon, I can see, okay, none of these are Sharon exclusives. If I click on Void Reactor, none of these are Void Reactors. And so sometimes if you have no results, it's because you have those selected or you don't have them selected. So these are the only buttons you really need to click up here. I haven't had to click Special Ops, but these are the ones you're gonna wanna toggle on and off to see your options, to display all your options. The one we just looked at in depth was the 66. There it is, all the details. So pattern 66 gives me a 10% chance. I can find it at the Forgotten Knees, and the Dead Bride is where I crack it open. Some of these aren't guaranteed, so you're gonna see that at the mission level. For example, if you were going to a Void Reactor or an outpost, that is, then it's RNG based. Somewhere around 20 to 25% depending. It is helpful to know that pattern 79 we can get just by running the shelter, which is going to be just as easy as the Forgotten Knees. Maybe it's a little bit longer, maybe it's a little bit shorter, and we can crack that at the Devourer, who's, I don't know, arguably easier or harder, just depending on your playstyle, but we can double our chances. So knowledge is power. You have the options, you have choice. More importantly, you can do all of them. Now, having that like on your computer next to you, you can go over here and just say, well, what do I have? And so you can just look in here and say, okay, I don't have 66, because some of these you won't need to farm. You might have been getting them passively as you've been doing activities or farming something else. So you can see if you have 107, if it's grayed out, it usually means you don't have that. So yeah, so I got 0. And so you can just go down this list and go from the patterns menu just to see if you have any inventory on those. And then you can skip the grinding part to get the pattern and just go straight to cracking it using whoever over here. So super, super helpful. So we'll run through another example. You're gonna like this one. I've been getting all these ultimate Lepic parts, so I decided to just go ahead and craft them. And so this one is done. This one is cooking, and this one just got done. The last piece I need is the ultimate Lepic code. So you can go in here and you can go through the routine of dropping down all these levels and then seeing if you have the pattern and then where you got to go and then where that location is. But instead of doing that, let's go back to our tool. I can just go to, and there's a search bar here, by the way. So if you just want to use the search, I just scroll. So not Ajax, it was Lepic. Ultimate Lepic code. So we can just click that. And then nothing shows up. Well, that doesn't seem right, does it? Well, if we click on Sharon and Void Reactor, then all of a sudden we have some options. So it looks like we have the Agna Desert option or Sterile Land. So 61 and 89, they both have an equal chance. They're both Sharon required, and they're both on hard. So it's just gonna come down to, well, do you already have inventory on those? And which location do you prefer? And to answer that, it's gonna come down to, well, if I'm farming solo, which one is easier to do with Sharon? And that's gonna come down to the boss, the outpost boss. Sometimes some bosses are more of a pain than others, depending on what type of immunity they have or what type of support that they have. You're either gonna already know that outpost because you've been there and have spent some time there, or you're gonna have to just go test it out because you're not gonna find that out in this level. But you do have a lot of details that are already helpful. You know that they're hard, and you know that there's no way around it. In order to get Ultimate Lepic, you're going to need Sharon. Now, here's a little side note. This thing hasn't been 100% accurate, but it's been damn close, like 99%. And it's never been wrong, but every now and again, I'll find that it's missing an option. So this guy's working really hard, and he's done a damn good job, so I'm not discounting that. There's 3 locations, right? It's prudent to just, at a high glance, to verify the information. You know what I mean? So I've been doing that on these, so I've just been doing that at that level, but I don't have to go super deep. I just have to check here. Okay, I just have to look at a high level. There's 3 of them. There's 3 options. And then here, there's 3 options.
Let's do this!
So now that we have this result, and we verified that all 3 options are showing up, it's just prudent to do that, then we can make a decision on where we want to go. So we can do 21, but we're only going to get a 3% chance at getting the Lepic blueprint. If we go to 61 and 89, they're going to require a Sharon, but we get a 10%. That's 3 times more. So if you don't want to do Sharon, there you go. So it's the Sharon exclusive that limits that. So if you don't have a Sharon, or you don't want to because you have a hard time doing them solo, then you have an option, and this is letting you see that. So what's also neat is you can see where things cross over. So what if you're farming Ultimate Lepic and maybe Ajax at the same time? Is there going to be an option for that? So 75, 103, 61, 89, and 21 showing you here is if there's any crossover. Another quick thing, if you hover, it shows you the details on the polymer requirements. So look at that, 36 organic, 9 polymer. This guy is a genius for adding that in. 20% chance on that one. And then this one's got 40 inorganic, 5 organic. So you don't have to go in there and then find out later that, oh shoot, I don't have the shards to access the void reactor. None of these cross over. So if you see, you know, it's one or the other. So I think the top ones were Ajax, and then it tells you here, and this one's Lepic, and then you hover over that one, it says Ajax. So they're not crossing over, so they're not showing both, but in some cases they will. So that's what we're checking here. This is cutting that down dramatically, the time it takes to do that. Let's clear that, and now we got just the Ultimate Lepic, but we saw some Jabers going on, right? So let's click on, and so I haven't been farming Jaber, so that's a good one to use. Let's look at all of Jaber's stuff here. So I'm gonna click all of Jaber. There we go. So I got 4 Jaber pieces and 1 Ultimate Lepic. Okay, starting at the top, we got a Jaber at a 32% chance. Jaber, 32, 111, so 89. There we go. So there's a crossover right there. So if I go farm 89, which is actually what I'm farming for, then I have a chance of getting Jaber or Ultimate Lepic code. So there's one. And then is there an option without Sharon? So let's take off the Sharons. No. Is there an option without void reactors? No. So they're all going to require, and that's probably because of the ultimate version, they're all going to require a Sharon in the farming strategy here for the most part, if you're going for a 2-for-1. Okay, so let's say 89 is the one. Let's go back to the game. Let's look at 89 because you want to know what else you're going to get in that, because it could be a very good overall farm. So going to 89. Okay, so the top 3 are everything but the last one, basically. So the Afterglow is one of the best snipers in the game. And so if you get multiple synthetic fibers for the Afterglow, that's a good thing because you're eventually going to overcharge it, prestige it, smash them together. So multiple Afterglows isn't a bad thing. The top 3 are amazing, right? So there's our Jaber, 20% chance, the Ultimate Lepic at 10, and then the Energy Activator at 6%. So 89 is a win. This is one that you could probably farm over and over and over again. And you probably will, because the Afterglow and the Energy Activator are all things that you're gonna need multiple of. So 89, here we are at this level. So it's gonna be Agna Desert, and we gotta be on hard, and it's gonna be the Vermilion Waste. Okay, so here we are. And I'm in the middle of Prestige and Sharon again, by the way. So she's super low level. Please don't mind that. So here it is. And so now you want to see is like, hey, is this one that I can do solo? No, I happen to know this one, and I do know it is. So I can come in here. Get out of my way, dude. There it is. Boom, baby. Let's see if we won. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Then we got other resources. But that's how you would do it. And then you would just wait here. So remember, they buffed the timer here. So it's only a minute. So I'll just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So we're looking at 89 here. So we got a 30% chance of getting that when we crack it open. And then we got to go to the Void Outpost. The Void Outpost is just up the road, right around the corner. And when you hover over this, it says, hey, you need organic shards and inorganic shards. Now I have a bunch, but if you don't, then you could just go over here to farm those and then go back over there to crack open the code. In order to do that, you need electric. Sharon is electric, so she could do it, but you'd be better off with Bunny. This is actually one of the best bunny farms for shards and XP. If you want energy activators, if you want catalysts, you want Sharon. She's gonna get you the best gear in the game. Ooh, it just glitched. All right, let's roll the dice. Come on, baby, there it is, 89. Woo, woo. And there it is. And so sometimes you'll get 88 and 89. That's another important detail. So you're getting another pattern by doing this. What does the other pattern do? You're gonna wanna know because you're gonna be getting a shit ton of those. You're gonna be stacking them. So let's take a look at what 88 does.
Let's do this!
So let's type in 88. All right, so 88 is gonna give us the ultimate Ajax. So we're farming for the ultimate Ajax, and then we're also getting the secret garden. We're getting catalyst blueprint potential at 20%, regular Ajax, as well as Python. And then 89, again, ultimate Lepic, energy activator, and Jaber. So we got 3 descendants on this list, as well as other extremely important blueprints, like the energy activator and the catalyst. And this, my friends, is why I have a ton of these things. It's because of Sharon. So this tool in combination with Sharon is going to get you the best loot in the game, and you're gonna save a ton of time. Right, so I know we went into some depth here, but I just wanted to show you, like, in practice how this works and how it can save you time. And just remember, I'm doing this on hard mode, solo, and my Sharon is at level 8 right now, right? So you can do this. You just need to put together a really good build. Now, if you want to know my take on Sharon, check out this one here. This is a budget build that you can use right now. It's not heavily loaded, but the next Sharon build I got for you is going to be like the one you have to have. Catch you on the next one. Thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
One and only.
And this was another episode of The First Descendant. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The First Descendant. And if you like videos like this, check out the one I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy or download anything for the First Descendant, be sure to use Tux's creator code to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.